Speaking of trusting, trust the leaks because Namor has officially leaked along with a couple other things. Atuma and Namora all leaked all together in a span of like 24 hours.
Is it Namor or is it? Oh, isn't it like a
I-
Namorita or something?
I've
like
heard
that?
it pronounced and different things different ways. So until the movie tells me properly, I'm gonna go with what I'm saying.
So give her own name, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Like, Namor is just no.
Yeah, it feels a little lame, but who knows? I mean, I could see them changing it as well because she didn't have like the name plastered on her like Atuma and Namor did in their art. So I guess.
But not all the Namor art has the names on it.
True. That is true. Although what it did have was clearly confirming to us all the rumors about Aztec descent being real and showing us his like war armor, which looks amazing.
I mean, it is interesting because Namor was usually depicted as a South Asian.
Yeah. Which.
Was he always depicted as that? I know there's the whole you go back to the original ones, and he's clearly Asian in that, right? But he was always after that point white.
From what I've read, he was always depicted as a South Asian. It's just whatever the artist wanted him to be at that point. But from what I've read, he was always supposed to be depicted as that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've been
Like
reading
recently, like Jason Aaron's like Avengers stuff. He looks like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, Keanu Reeves is a little bit of everything. So.
Yeah, and also, I think also the confusion is how people saying, well, why are they all blue and not him? Well, he's a mutt. His dad was humans, and his mom was a fish girl. So that's part of the reason why all his people hate him, because he doesn't belong in either. Technically,
it's kind of like the same thing. Obviously, people are going to draw Aquaman comparisons. Namor did come first in the comics, so that is a thing. Aquaman, you can cite the direct like correlation between the two of what they kind of flipped and did the other way. But also, people being upset that Namor is Mexican in this, but also defending Jason Momoa's Aquaman, I don't want to hear none of it because both are changed from how they are, so it's fine. Look, but
at least he looks like Namor.
And he does, yeah he does. He does look like Namor.
Momoa looks nothing apart from the suit. Looks nothing like Aquaman.
Yeah.
Well, current Aquaman looks like
Nah, don't bring that up. Don't bring that up. I don't.
Just check the San Diego Comic-Con poster. You'll see.
You could still have all the people that have never read the comics, though, that are sharing that images of Sea King, being like, see, he looks just like Jason Momoa. It's like, that's the Earth 2 evil version of Aquaman. Sea King, who's just never mind, you've never read the comics. People still share the same thing. It's like, guys.
I mean, in fairness, why would anyone read Aquaman comics?
Don't make me.
The current miniseries.
Family Guy taught me from a very young age that Aquaman bad.
He's terrible.
I mean, the current mini's good.
Yeah.
You can only get a mini now? Damn.
Well, welcome to DC, where if you have a successful character, you bury him.
I mean, that happens if your name's not the Flash or Batman, that's what you get for the most part.
Which does kind of bring me to want to mention something about Namor here that I've noticed. These changes that they're implementing, to me, feel like they fit the character. Obviously, if you look at Wakanda and Black Panther, asteroid hit vibranium. Oh, we built our society on top of it and we hid. Mexico, literally the peninsula there's a giant asteroid crater that we didn't know till a couple dozen years ago, where they looked at it from airplanes. They're like, that's not mountains, that's literally a giant crater. And it's literally in the middle of like the Mesoamerican Aztec to Maya territory. You're like, that's exactly what they can use as a basis. Like that's their key to this. And again, at least when you think about it, the Atlantic Ocean is there. So if they call it Atlantis, Namor and his people can be like, they call it Atlantis because they don't know any better because it's the Atlantic Ocean, whatever. Like, you can there's a way to do this properly, and I don't mind it. Some people are taking
It's
away
also
too.
got the colonial ties, you know.
Yep.
Wakanda's never been like colonized, and look what happened to that.
Uh-huh.
Whereas Mexico did, and look what happened to Atlantis.
Yeah, like I don't mind the change. It's just that I don't want to see I don't know, like just fake comic nerds or people who say they know all there is about Namor to automatically assume that's how Namor originally was when he was never that.
Yeah. I mean,
it in the original comics they did like talk about colonialism and how I think they called them the overworlders treated the Atlanteans, and how it also played in colonialism where there was an entrepreneur that wanted to try and colonize a section of or a portion of the Atlantis the area, and Namor and his race had to kick them out because they did not offer any agreements or treaties with the Atlanteans. They didn't even offer like any trade agreements. It's just like, oh, give us this land and we won't attack you. That's what it was. So if they could play it up like that, it'd be pretty interesting.
Do you think they're going to tie it into anything? Like outside, like, you know how Miss Marvel's clearly going a specific Kree-human route.
Yeah.
Like, do we think they can go that way with Namor? Because the whole like Atlantis thing was like Lumeria, which I can see them calling it Lumeria, and
yeah, I do hope they do. I hope they do.
Like that was all from the Deviants. So do we go back to Eternals and keep referencing that movie because it's not obviously dead?
I think you could also do that, but you mix in also, El Dorado, the City of Gold. You mix that in, you make all these myths down there kind of part of the lore, being like, no, you all had it wrong. Here's what it is. So I think you also do roll the Eternals elements in there, just being like, hey, it happened. And like Namor, you could also say that he has resentment, because he knew about the Eternals and they stood back, as we saw in Eternals. They literally show you the Conquistadors. Like, you can make that.
So they got a tie in that Celestial, right?
They have to.
It literally destroyed like a third of the ocean.
Yeah, 100%.
A huge chunk of like the planet has just changed. And he's like, oh, that's my waters.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I've been waiting for Namor for so long that at this point, like, I can't wait to just see anytime anything hits, I'm like just overjoyed. So to me, everything here, honestly, I'm so excited. And I'm excited that they are taking a different route with it. They could have done the same thing that DC did. Oh, they're technologically advanced, and I guarantee they will be. But like, in Aquaman, like
it'll be like Wakanda advanced.
Yeah.
Like America there.
In Aquaman, they look like they're literally in the middle of like Shanghai. They just threw it underwater and added lasers everywhere. I'm like, boy, that's really advanced. Like that's
underwater turrets on the wall.
Yeah. I want to see a little bit more a throwback style, like different approach.
A bit more like tradition and the future stuff like that.
Yeah. Like I can only imagine if they're going to have us like a Aztec pyramid underwater, and it's going to look amazing, but it's also going to have like, all the sides, and it's like, specific rocks to reflect and thing. Like, I picture it's going to be beautiful, so I'm super hyped.
Do we think the wings are decorative or actually part of him?
I hope they're a part of him.
They don't look like any, like the headdress or anything. They don't match any of that. So, like, are they actually attached to him, or? I
always figured that, like, if they did a live-action Namor, that the wings would be attached, but they would kind of wrap around his calves, and then when he uses them, they kind of just like sprawl out, because they're so.
That'd be a cool idea, actually.
Yeah, they're kind of like so stupid looking that I think you have to make them a part of it to make it serious. Like it's.
So I was surprised to actually see those.
Same.
I was like, there's no way to do the wing ankles.
Yeah.
Like maybe he's an Inhuman. Who knows?
I'd be cool with it.
Or he's the first mutant.
I'd be cool with that, too. They did do a whole comic run where he was called Namor the First Mutant. That's literally a run, so it's...
Even though Apocalypse is, like, right over there.
No. Ignore him.
What's the continuity with mutants?
Yeah, exactly. So, Yeah, there we go. Namor's coming in. We're going to see him pretty soon, considering the Black Panther reveal's got to be...
Literally this year.
Yeah, literally this year. It's been a long time coming, so let's go.